Hi, and I'm Bagur and welcome to episode 5 of Cub Scouts TV. Tonight we are going to be playing a couple of games. We're going to be making our own contour maps. So quickly yell out to mum and dad that you need a sliced up potato so we can do that. We're going to be doing some drawing with directions. So for that you'll need a pen or pencil and paper and a ruler. And we're going to be playing some other games. And tonight it's all about directions. So get excited, get ready. We'll just quickly do parade. Hopefully your parents can get off and get those things if you need them. Otherwise, let's get started with the parade. So pack alert, pack at ease, pack. Do your best. Beautiful, all right, let's get up. Let's get straight into a game. So I'm sure you all know what this game is. For those at 9th Brighton who've played this game before, this is a directions game. And so I'm going to call out directions and you need to run in those directions. So make sure if you're at home that don't run into the furniture or anything. Make sure you've got a nice clean area to work with. So if I call north, run towards me. The opposite of north is south. So if I call south, run away from the screen that you're looking at. West, run that way. East, run that way. And I'm going to try and trick you. But, and then there's going to be some, we'll do a quick short one and then we'll add some extra directions in. So if you're ready, north, south, north, east, west, north, south, east, north. All right, back in the middle of the room, guys. Okay. Hopefully that was okay. I gave you a few directions here. We're going to add a couple more actions in. If I say captain coming on board, I want you to stand up and do a salute. Scrub the deck, get down onto the floor, scrub the deck, and climb the rigging. You know, pretend you're climbing the rigging. All right, let's get started again. Right, climb the rigging. North, east, scrub the deck. Captain coming on board. West, north, climb the rigging, south, scrub the deck, captain coming on board, west, north, captain coming on board. All right, how did we go? Beautiful. All right, now, hopefully that's got all the energy out. I'm going to go through and just show you some photos. We had a few issues last week, so we're going to show some of the photos from a few weeks ago. So we'll just get those up. So the first photos we're going to be showing here. So firstly, here is Emma from First Baranduda, who sent in her picture of the Mother's Day card that she made. Thanks for sending that in, Emma. Now we've got Isabel here from 9th Brighton, sorry, with her Cub Scout book. She's also got a photo. She sent in a photo of her Scout box. Yep, and the Mother's Day card that she made. Beautiful, well done. Then this was the badge work that we did on the weekend. So we came up with a design for the badge. And from that, Ben sent in what he had done. So we've got Ben's design there. And then we've got the one that we have submitted. So thanks to Isabel's dad, CJ, for putting that together for us. I think that's a good representation of what we did. And then we've got the ID card that Theo put together from last week's. Okay, so now we're going to do an activity which is drawing from directions. So for this you'll need your pen and paper and a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, that's okay. Just if you fold over a piece of paper. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to be giving you directions and you're going to draw those directions. So let's go down to the table and I'll show you what we need to do. So the first thing that you need to do on your piece of paper is to draw north, east, south and west on the paper. So if you do a cross like this, then put north to the top of the page. And we know that the opposite of north is south. And then the sun gets up in the east and it sets in the west. And we go, never eat soggy wheat bix, or naughty elephants spray water. So remember those terms so you can remember which way it goes. Now we can also put in some more points on our compass. So if you can draw 2 more lines like that, let's give you some time to draw those. And then we can name these points. So this one is halfway between north and east, so it is northeast. I'll just draw an N and an E for northeast. Now this one is halfway between east and south. Do we call it east-south? That doesn't sound right. I think we call it south-east. We definitely call it southeast. This point here is halfway between south and west, so it is, that's right, southwest. And our final point we've got is halfway between west and north. But of course we don't call it west-north, we call it north-west. Alrighty. So I'm going to give you a list of instructions and you need to draw those directions. So for example, we have a starting point sort of towards the top of the middle of the page, top centre of the page. If I say in this one we're going to go 6 south. So I'm going to draw 6 centimetres south. Now, as I said, if you don't have a ruler, you can always get a piece of paper and fold it over and just put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks on there. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can also use this. It doesn't matter that this is longer than 6 actual centimetres. It'll work out okay. Alright, so 6 south. So hopefully you've got a straight line going down. Then we're going to go 6 squares to the east. So we look on here, east. So we need to go this way, 6, from the point that we've just drawn. So that's what you should have now. I'm going to just I'm going to do this in, here we go. This might be easier for you to see on the screen. Alrighty, now the next direction is we're going to go northwest 6 squares. Where's northwest? Oh, this one, northwest. So if we're starting from here, northwest is heading in that direction. We can put a little arrow on there. So from where we've drawn, we want to go northwest. So we're drawing a line up here. Okay. Now it actually is more than 6. It's actually 8, but never mind about that. My instructions are a little off. Now we're going to go southwest, and we'll go southwest. So again, we've found southwest, so we're heading in this direction, southwest. We'll need to go 8 in the southwest direction. And now we're going to go east 6 squares. So again, east, we're heading now in the easterly direction. Get my 6 squares. So hopefully that's, we've all got a nice triangle. So we've started here, we've gone south 6, east 6, northwest 8, so we get back to the point. Then we've gone southwest 8, and then east 6. Okay, so we're at this point here, we are now going to go south 1 square, west 6 squares. So west, we're heading in this direction. I wonder if anyone can guess what it is that we're drawing with these directions. Southeast, 2 squares. So southeast, we find south, southeast. So we're heading in that direction, 2 squares. Anyone guess yet? Now we're going east, 10 squares. Hopefully you can work this out now. Which direction do you think we're going to be heading now? If anyone said northeast, you'd be correct. So we're going to go northeast, 2 squares. And then we're going to go west, 6 squares. And hopefully you have a nice looking sailboat. So I'm going to just going to grab another sheet of paper. And I'll put it on top of my sailboat because I still want to see my compass points. And we're going to do a more difficult one. This is going to be, actually, where am I going to go? I'll go here. Okay, so hopefully we've got another bit of paper. Just start in the centre of the page. This time we're going to go north 1 square. So north, heading up. East 1 square. North 7 squares. Oh, going to get right to the top of my page here. Going to go east 4 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to go south 3 squares. So hopefully you followed this south, so we're heading back down the page. So this is good for when you're doing your maps and you need to be able to follow directions. You can also be setting out when we go for doing hikes and things like that. You can be planning your route this way. We're going to go east 3 squares. So we're heading in an easterly direction 3 squares. North 1 square. I'm going to cheat and just do it freehand. And we're going to go east 1 square. We're going to go south 1 square. And then we're going to go east another 2 squares. And this might be a little bit of a harder one to work out what we're drawing here. And I'm going to go north a square, east a square, and south a square again. And then we're going to go east another 2 squares. So hopefully you've got this picture. Now we're going to go south 4 squares, so straight down 4. We're going to go east again, so east this way, 1 square. South 1. And now we're going to go west. So we're coming back towards the body of this. Has anyone worked out what we're drawing yet? So west this way. We're going west 2 squares. South 1 square. So south down the bottom. Now southwest 1 square. So remember southwest. So between south and west, southwest, so we're going on an angle. Southwest 1 square. We're going to go west 1 square, and then we're going to go northwest. So northwest 1 square. So between north and west. And then north 1 square. So it's starting to take shape, what we're drawing. I think you probably can guess it from this. But let's finish it off. Now let's go west 4 squares. South 1 square. Southwest, so again southwest this way, 1 square. Then we're going to go west 1 square. Hopefully Now, which way do you think we're going to go? Can you work it out? Northwest 1 square. Then we want to get to here. So which way are we going to go? To get from this point to this point, which direction are we travelling in, everybody? North, that's right. So north 1 square. And then we need to, mine's not quite lined up completely, we need to get all the way back here to this point. So which direction are we going to be heading in, guys? That's right, west. So I've got about 5 squares I'm going this way. And then just need to go north. And then we have our train. I'll post these directions up though onto the website, scoutstv.com.au, and I'll put some other ones up that you can do as well. But it's a really good exercise to practice and learn the points that you have on a compass. Okay, now the next activity, sorry, I'm just getting organised. We're going to sing do a quick song. A directions-based song, very easy one. You need to follow the directions. Now everybody knows heads, shoulders, knees and toes, but follow along because we're going to skip out some of the words. So each time through, we're going to drop one of the words. Let's go. So you follow me, ready? Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. All right, so follow along. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Hopefully you get the idea that we're dropping words. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and heads, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and heads, shoulders, knees and toes. I think I mucked up on that one. Heads, shoulders, knees and heads, shoulders, knees and heads, shoulders, knees and heads, shoulders, heads, shoulders, heads, shoulders, heads, 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 All right, so now we're going to do it and get the words back. Ready? Heads, shoulders, heads, heads, shoulders, heads, shoulders, knees and heads, shoulders, knees and heads, shoulders, knees and heads, shoulders, knees and toes, 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 and eyes and heads, shoulders, knees and toes, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and heads, shoulders, knees and toes, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Last one. Heads, shoulders, knees and toes, heads, shoulders, knees and toes, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose, heads, shoulders, knees and toes. Whew. Well, I'm a bit puffed after that. Alrighty, now, what we're going to be doing now is learning about contour lines on maps. So, what does that actually mean? To help us, I've brought a few different pieces of fruit and vegetable to help us. Now, when we look at a map, and I'll get CJ to put a map up onto the screen to have a look at, a map is only two-dimensional. We can only see, we only see it flat. We don't see the hills and the valleys and all the other features that we would if we were walking along. And interestingly, this map is a map of Wodonga, and if you look down the bottom, if you can see down the bottom, it is Barranduda Range. And Emma was from First Barranduda, and so clearly their scout hall gets its name from the mountain range that goes through Wodonga. When you look, and I'll show you this when we sit down and do our exercise, but when we look at our map, it has contour lines, and the contour lines are showing where there is a rise or a fall on the map. And we're going to use, hopefully you've got a sliced potato, but we'll show you how to do this, to show you what we mean. So let's get down and have a look at this on the on the table. And of course I've got something that I've prepared earlier. So I'll just move the contour map over here. So what you can see is you can see all these lines on this map here. These are hills that are quite steep in Wodonga, and same over here. We've got lots of steep lines over here. We've got a smaller or a gentle slope down here. But still, what does that mean? Now, the way I'm going to represent that in an easy way is I have got an apple here, which I've sliced. Now, when we look at the apple, we can see that there is a slope. If we had to walk, imagine we're tiny little people, and we had to walk up the side of this apple, which would be the easiest? Would it be easier to walk up this bit? This bit's quite steep. Or would it be easier to walk up maybe this section here? Now, when we're looking in real life at a hill or our apple, we can make that decision. But if we're planning to go on a hike, how do we see that information on a map? And we do that with the contour lines. And so we're going to make a very simple contour map of this apple. So I've sliced it, as you can see, I've just sliced this apple into 3 pieces. Hopefully this works okay. And I'm going to draw, around my piece of apple. Got a bit of apple on my page now. And then I'm going to put my next piece of apple on the page and draw a line around this piece. And then my last piece of apple. And hopefully that's... Now it's going to be a little bit hard to see. So I'll draw it again with my crayon, the old trusty crayon. It's a little hard to see. But what this steep part of the apple, we can see that the lines here are closer together. So we've got three lines that are really close together. And that's what the contour map is showing. When the lines are really close together, it's really steep. And where we've got a bit that was a more gentle slope, those are, the gaps here are wider apart. So if you've got I've got a really cool looking potato, and hopefully someone's helped you at home with this, but I'm going to chop this potato up very carefully into slices to show the same. And it doesn't matter if you don't have a parent that can help you with this. Sorry. Then just watch along. Now, if I was organised, I would have had a nice piece of towel. Okay, so I'm going to choose this orange one. So again, chopped my potato into 3 slices, and now I'm going to do the contours. So there's my first contour line. Choose a different colour for my second contour line. And then my last contour line, one more colour, green. And so there, if I asked you to come on a hike with me to climb Mount Potato, and we were having a look at it to say, how are we going to get to the top of this is the top of Mount Potato? What's the safest way for us to go? We'd look at the map and we'd go, oh, geez, these contour lines here and here are very close together. And if we look at it, it's very steep, very, very steep here. Certainly, like unless you were abseiling, you're rock climbing, you're not going to get up there. But we say, look at the gaps here. The gap between these lines here are quite far apart. So I think that would be the safest way to climb up. And then we can go in and get all the way to the top of Mount Potato. And if we look at the potato, this is what we're saying. We'd go climb up here to the top. And that looks like a reasonably safe way to get up. So very quick explanation of contour lines. We'll do more on contour lines and map work at a later point. But if I thought that was a really smart way to represent, or try to teach you guys how contour lines, when we're looking at a map and trying to make sense of a detailed map like that, exactly what these contour lines are there to represent. Okay, so we're almost out of time. Let's just quickly get up. I've got a few things to show you. I have got, thank you very much to Marlene for sending in some badges. So I've sewn on a beautiful First Cheltenham Scout Group, 100 years of scouting, onto my camp blanket. So we're getting a few more badges onto that. Thank you very much. Spot the difference. So this week's was quite tricky. I'm not sure if you've had a chance, but there is something different about what I'm wearing. And here it is. I've got a little Anzac pin on next to my Bagheera sign. So that's it. Thank you very much. We're out of time. I hope you've had fun tonight. And as always, you can jump onto the Cub Scouts, scoutstv.com.au website and catch up on previous episodes. Don't forget to send in pictures of any of the work that you've done tonight. I'll put up some more of the directions, drawings on there. Otherwise, thank you very much. Scouts alert, Scouts at ease, Scouts dismissed. Good hunting and stay safe.